Hello everyone, it's Vitalis. It's a pleasure to meet you again. One day, a Chinese farmer lost his axe. He thought in himself a bit and realized his nephew was the only person who knew exactly where he hid it. Obviously, the nephew has stolen the axe. What did the uncle do then? He did what every wise uncle would do. He held his peace, hoping that the nephew would come out and declare his decline of morals, or would entrap himself by unintentional avows. The uncle waited, but the nephew tarried. And something surprising happened. Every time the uncle saw his nephew, the nephew had the head of someone who would steal an axe. His tone of voice perfectly matched the tone of voice of a guilty thief. His clothes, his laughter, even the way his nephew ate resembled the mannerisms of an axe thief. Now, remember that the uncle did not catch him in the act. He only had, quote, solid assumptions. Legally or morally, he could not accuse his nephew. Another day, though, the uncle accidentally stumbled upon the axe. The position of the tool, the axe, was fitting to the last place he had used it. Wow, he thought, maybe this guy didn't steal the axe. Surprising anyway, because the guy fitted the description of an axe thief. So what happened? Even more surprisingly, the next time the uncle saw his nephew, the guy had no resemblance whatsoever with the thief, let alone an axe thief. So, where were all these illusions coming from all along? You guessed it, imagination. Be careful where you let your imagination wander. It might harvest fruits that will produce a damnable stupidity in you. Ouch! That was rude of me. I apologize. But seriously though, conflicts flourish when we let our imagination go places it shouldn't go. We all make the same mistake, over and over again. In our relationships, we are quick to jump to the conclusions and the solution. We know the other person is the problem. Yes, we need to part ways. No, they are rude, judgmental, too controlling, and yada yada yada. Maybe. But sometimes the problem is somewhere else. To find it, we need to invest time, willingness, and energy. It takes time to find the real root of a problem. Let's see the highways we may travel to pinpoint the root of any problem. First, problems come in all sizes and shapes, but there are similarities in how to recognize them. That's why I said these strategies will help us identify the root cause of each problem. Do you know how our Chinese uncle could have solved this problem differently? I presume you do. Now, let me give you the first strategy you should use to begin to look for the root cause of a problem. Again, I'm not going to give you any panacea remedy that corrects all wrongs or that heals all evil. I'm just going to give you the best strategies that can help in a way or another in finding the root cause of a problem. Not all problems will be solved this way. By the way, I can't even pretend that I'm an authority in this field, but bear with me here. Strategy number 1. See the problem as a thing. In social science, a researcher must see the topic of her study as a thing, separate from her. Let's picture this a bit. When a geologist studies a rock, he or she does not suddenly see his picture in the rock. Rather, he studies the rock as a thing. The rock is a thing, separate from himself. He cannot show emotions in the rock, or bias, or racial discrimination, or even a control freak father. The rock is the rock, that's it. You can carry it in your hand if it's that small, which is why the geologist can give us the characteristics of the rock more elegantly and adequately. But if he saw emotions in the rock, the results would be different, right? So, first strategy, see each problem as a thing. That means the other person is not the problem. The other person is not in the problem. You are not the problem, because sometimes we blame ourselves for something, for many things. I am not the problem. You are not the problem. You are not in the problem. You just got entangled in the problem. The problem is a thing that is spoiling your relationship, and I like this analogy of being entangled or tangled up. When you get entangled in something, it could be like a net. You are not the net. You might be in the net, but you are not the net. You might wonder though, what does this have to do with self-confidence? Let me tell you, problems drain our self-confidence, sometimes faster than anything else. We will receive the second strategy next time, God willing. Do you have a question, a suggestion, or comment regarding this post or any issue pertaining to it, or this video, or just something you need clarity with? Talk to me by going to my website, www.actonyourdreamtoday.com/contact. If you liked it, please share it with your friends and family. Peace.